Yo, so today I'm gonna talk a lot about pop-up form because pop-up forms are literally one of the best ways to grow your list and maximize what you're already doing because you're either spending money or you're either spending your time on creating content that drives traffic to the site, right? So let me just get straight into this. Pop-up form gold. This is why it's your secret revenue weapon in, well, it's not 2024 anymore, it's 2025, isn't it? So in today's e-commerce landscape, converting cold traffic is actually harder than ever. Competition through the consumers, less disposable income. Ad costs, they just rise and rise and rise every single month. And the conversion rates are steadily declining if you're not working with this every single day. Or maybe not every single day, but working with it continuously, right? So most visitors, and actually, I want to do this. I want to say like 97% actually won't buy from you, right? It's different from your physical retail store, but online, you have a conversion rate of maybe 3%, and then you're doing really great, right? So without an effective pop-up strategy, you're actually just burning cash on the traffic you are already spending your money or your time on. So that means your traffic acquisitions or your CAC, well, it will always stays high while your conversion rate stays low, and that equals a deadly combination for profitability. So I'm JP, I'm the co-founder of Marketing, where we transform email marketing from a neglected afterthought into a serious profit center. We work with a lot of brands and generate millions of revenue across Scandinavia and in the whole world. And here's a pretty picture of me. Here is my social media and whatever. If you want access to this, or you want to link with me or whatever, I'll give you access to this document in the description just down below. So here's why cold traffic that rarely converts. Cold prospects, they have a fundamental objections in whatever they actually do. So every time you run an offer for cold traffic, you need to actually dive deeper into this. So your customers, they might be thinking, I just discovered this. I don't have enough information. I don't have the money. I'm not sure, yada, yada. Why do I choose this brand over the 1,000 other brands, right? So the solution isn't that you push harder to convert these first visit sales. You want to capture their email addresses, maybe their phone number, and maybe some first or zero party data. So you can actually nurture these prospects over time until they convert what we call the trust threshold. So it's actually just the point where someone trusts you enough to make a purchase. I am doing this exactly the same. I'm putting out content for you to trust me, so you will end up buy something from me. It's the same process, even though we sell a much more expensive service than just a t-shirt for $30, right? It's the same principle. It's the same customer journey, the digital journey, right? So that's what I'm trying to convey here. So email is without a doubt the most highest ROI alternative to expensive paid ads. Paid ads is not something that it's not the one or the other. You should continue to spend time on paid ads. I'm not saying just discard it, but please invest in your email and SMS marketing setup, because most brands, they actually just rely on their paid ads and to actually move prospects around this trust threshold. But it just gets more and more expensive. And that's why most brands are actually just complaining about, oh, we're not profitable. It's so hard to break even or whatever. That's why the CAC is actually so high, because they're only focusing on first time purchases. If you want to make a sustainable business, you need to have customers that are buying from you again and again. Combine that with obviously generating new purchases, right? So email marketing offers essentially just a dramatically more cost-effective alternative. So if you do a paid ads, if you make $2 for every dollar you spend, that's actually great. The best in this space, they make $4 for every dollar they spend. But again, not everyone is really great at this. On email marketing, on average, it's $22. You can go into the detail, or sorry, you can go and research this. So there's a lot of different numbers. Some numbers are around 50, some are around 11. So I just met the halfway. This is insane, and it also is because you don't spend anything. Like, you don't pay Mark Zuckerberg, you don't pay Google, you don't pay TikTok to advertise on the platform. You own the data. You only pay an email marketing platform that is very cheap compared to all the others, right? So that's why you control it compared to the others. This is all cold traffic. This is warm audience because you've already gathered them into your website, right? The cost per touch will always be high on paid ads. It will also be low on email marketing. The scalability here for paid ads is really, really good if you know what you're doing. On email marketing, I'd say it's excellent. But again, you still need the paid ads and the traffic, right? But it's excellent on email marketing because you can do a calculation of how many, and I'll do this with you in a moment, but how much traffic I'm generating. What's my conversion rate for the pop-up forms? if I send an email, how many will open it, how many will click on it, how many will land on the website, the landing page, and how many of these will convert. So in the end, it just becomes a mathematical calculation. So the key is to use these paid ads strategically for initial site visits. Then you have these high converting pop-up forms to capture these email addresses to fuel your marketing pipeline or engine. Understood? Perfect. So the massive return of investment of optimized pop-up forms or sign-up forms or whatever you're doing, right? So this is a real client example. The pop-up went from 1.7 to 18%, just resulting in so much more revenue, as you see here, right? Same traffic, same monthly visitors. We changed the pop-up or the offer and so on, so they get this many more new subscribers and this much more new revenue, right? So over 12 months, that's almost 80,000 more subscribers they can sell to, and that's actually $3 million additional revenue just from the welcome flows. And people will say, oh, you just introduced a 10% and we are losing out on our profit margin. I say, if you have a problem with converting first-time visitors to your site and you can't offer a 10% discount or another offer, you might have a business problem, because this is taking into account of new subscribers, new visitors. These people will buy from you again and again and again. So if you can't offer just a small 10% discount, you might have another problem. So do you see how important this is? That's actually what I'm trying to convey here, right? They will buy from you. If you have a good business, if you have good products, good service, they will buy from you again and again. So if you just set and forget like a pop-up form, you're actually burning cash. Most brands, they just do basic template. You know, they have the offer here and then they have a picture over here, so it's really basic, and that's why they only convert like 1 to 2%. We always want to have a target of minimum 5%. It also depends on the different countries, because USA, they just sign up for everything, but here in, for example, in Northern Europe, you have to play a little bit around with it and increase this optimization target. So you always want to be testing. You want to do iterative improvements. You always want to iterate on the winners and try to heighten this as much as possible. So always just optimize it. So if you have one that is 10%, we started out actually, this one, before we nailed it, we took it from 1.7 to 8% in the first try, and then we just improved and improved and improved, right? So always optimize it, just never set and forget it. So I want to talk a bit about what actually works. I want to give some examples. And again, you'll have access to this one to go in. And I just took a bunch of screenshots of different kinds of pop-up forms from different kind of brands, right? So everybody knows Obvi Health. They use a 3-step, and this is all about 3 steps, by the way, because we want to capture the zero and first-party data, right? So they introduce a question. That's also a micro commitment. They click on this, and then they get sent, okay, give me your email address for 30% off. Boom, finish signing up. You want our phone number also? That's great. The main thing here is that they want to click something so they get some data. When they have the email, you have that. They don't have to clear the form, essentially, to get the data and the email. If they don't want to give the phone number, they'll just click off and you still have the email, right? So there's a lot of examples here. The mystery offer, as somebody have seen, mystery discount. You got $50 off. This is what I talked about in another video with the list growth, that sometimes you want to do the 50% off. Sometimes you want to do, you want to do the percent off, and sometimes you want to do the dollar discount off, right? Because depending on your AOV. 20% off, 20% off. I don't want to go too much into detail. There was just one I actually wanted to show. There's a lot of mystery discounts. Yeah, 10% cashback. That's also good. Oh, it was actually here. Nope. Am I going down? Yeah. You picked our biggest discount. This is great, actually. And then you get the offer straight up. This is only a 2-step, right? And then they can choose whatever it is, and you picked our business discount into your email. This is sparking curiosity, a bit like the mystery discount, but you see there's a lot of different things you can do here to gather data, get their email and their phone number. And if you want more, just introduce some more steps, but you also want to make it as easy as possible, right? So great. Hop into that and see the different kinds of pop-up forms. So a weak offer is always going to kill your conversions. You want to have the best offer available without it ruining your business, as I just mentioned, right? So quick what I said, a 25% discount feels more valuable than a 5% off if you have a high AOV product. So again, there's some psychological factors and triggers putting in here putting in these fields also. So as I mentioned, if you want to make it to, let's say you have 5, 6, 7 steps, you might want to decrease that. Make it simple. Ask for the email, ask for the phone number, the first name if it is. You don't need anything more else. You can also do the collecting data on the post-purchase setups and whatnot. Timing, the sweet spot is 12 seconds for US and Canadian web shops. For European, and it depends on the cases, but sometimes we've actually seen that you want to do the 10 to 20 seconds, or if they've browsed your site for some time, or scroll a percentage, right? Just know that most actually leave after 30 seconds. You don't want to put it up too quickly, don't want to put it up too late. And loading speed is a killer. You need to have a quick loading form in order to get them to sign up, right? And if you have problems with your images, always compress them because it minimizes the code, and you want to avoid heavy animation so it loads slowly. Sometimes small pop-ups are easily ignored. You could cover at least 75% of the screen. This is the desktop. On mobile, it's always, in the front of the center, right? But you want to command attention and want to make the exit button a little bit harder to find than the offer, obviously. I know you have a lot to say, but please don't write a ton of copy on your pop-up form. Just keep it very simple, keep it minimal. Aim for around these 10 to 15 words. And don't say this in your copy. Everybody knows this. What you can do is just put a little star and with very small text and say you're signing up for an email newsletter. But again, don't do this offer. It's just weak and nobody signs up and you're wasting your traffic. Visual clutter, the more elements competing for attention. So again, you want to make it simple. Don't put anything unnecessary or put multiple color schemes. Do it if it matches your brand. If you have a very lean brand, don't do it. And some of the last thing, hidden or unclear offer or the exit button prominence. So you want the offer should be large, clear, and impossible to miss. It should be the main focus of the pop-up form. And make your exit button, don't have the X, make it, no thanks, I don't want to save this, or no thanks, I don't want to mystery discount, or no, I'd like to pay full price, or something like that. Just, think about this, play around with it a bit, but don't make it easy for them not to sign up, right? So here's 5 steps how you create converting pop-up forms. Your offer, most important thing, lower AOV products, $100 left. Do the discount codes. If it's higher, do the dollar amount of discount. So like the 5% or the $50 off, right? Choose your form type. Do you want to do the classic? That you got 50% off. Enter your email address and first name. Do you want to do the micro commitment? Do you want to do the quiz? Do you want to do these 3 steps? Again, play around with all of this. Play around. Build it in Klaviyo, Alia, or Amped. This is just some tools. Again, you get access to this, so you can just click on this one, and this will take you into the Amped and whatever. Perfect. Run through optimization checklist. Focus on these ones. Please, focus on these ones. Don't do anything else. And then you want to implement A/B testing. So you want to test at 10% off versus a $50 discount off, right? Test it. As I mentioned, we started out with this, when we just launched it was around 8%, and then we just improved it over time. So you can see sometimes it was upwards 23%, which is really, really great. In dollars or euros, this is 110K, 150K just from the welcome flow. So again, the math is just mathing. You want to do A/B test. So test the offers, mystery discounts, dollar, as I mentioned. Test the different kinds of types. So is it a standard? Is it a small one? Full page, single step, as I mentioned. Static. Could it be a GIF or whatnot? Remember to minimize remember to compress it, sorry. Again, traditional X, no thanks. We like to use the no thanks, I'll pay full price and whatnot. Maybe you introduce an exit trigger. Timing. Do the 4 seconds, 8 seconds, 12 seconds, 20 seconds. It depends on the case. As I mentioned, we have some clients where we do after 20 seconds. So again, test it. Visual elements, product focus, lifestyle images, with or without images. It really depends. Sometimes we're just seeing, do you want a mystery discount? And that's actually it. That's the offer in total. And that perform way better than with images. Copy alternatives, benefit versus offer focus, short versus ultra short. Different kind of CTAs, play around with it. The sign up now, that's pretty standard. Might not want to do that. So just to make my point here. There is some with the color psychology. It gets on a deeper level. If you don't have a lot of traffic, don't mind all of this, but you can experiment with it if you have a lot of traffic. So you want to start with a clear offer, build it on the best practice I just showed you, launch it with the proper tracking. Only test one variable at a time. That's very important. Only one at a time. I wanted to see the statistic. Usually it's 1,000 views before you conclude if this is working or not. Sometimes we like to put it up to around 2,000 to 3,000, but again, 1,000, just a rule of thumb. Implement the winning variation and iterate on the winners. If something is good, see if you can make it better. And you want to test it again, right? So you want to have minimum 5% conversion rate, 10% in target conversion rate, and the lead performance is actually up to 15. And that's just, if you have a great offer that just is really tied into your niche and your customers, you can hit these. But again, you want to at least go for 5%. So remember, if you just do it from 3 to 9%, that's actually 3 times more improvement in your growth and potential revenue for the first time buyers and also the ones that are buying from you again and again. So capturing emails are, well, only the first step, right? You want to have a welcome flow. You want to have all the other flows, the browse, cart, checkout. You want to send strategic campaigns every single week. We found that 3 to 5 emails per week, that's the best one. Segment your list and obviously always optimize based on performance. So my final thoughts: more subscribers, larger audience, higher quality leads, better engagement rates, better segmentation data, more relevant messaging. You're not sending the same email that you send to me as a 27-year-old if you also have customers that are buying that are 65 years old, right? Increase your welcome flow revenue, higher profitability. Easy as that. More campaigns, more people to send to, higher profitability, higher returning customer rates, more bottom line. So you want to really optimize your pop-up forms, because if they're not optimized, they're actually just wasting your traffic, you're wasting your budget, wasting your time. So please start implementing these today. And if you want us to handle this for you, you can book a call in here. I won't try to sell you anything or pitch anything. This is mainly just a strategy call. So if you need help with anything, we can look into it. I'll be glad to look over your account, because if you're not focusing on pop-up forms, you're really missing out. So thank you for watching this video, and peace.